December the 1st, 1945. Bought the house. Tom bought the house on his lunch hour. He took the bus from Carbide to St. Albans, bought the house, and went back to work that afternoon. And I called him, told him I'd bought a car, and he said, take it back. Said, take it back. I bought a house. So I went to see it the following Saturday.
The house.
The house, that is. And I had been to the dentist, and I think I had a tooth extractor. Something was wrong, but I thought it was a very nice house, and I liked the way that everything was neat, and the colors and all that stuff. That was in the fall. It was still good and warm, and then we moved in that first day of December, as I said, and it was a rainy, dreary day. Our furniture consisted of used and new furniture because it was hard to find things. We did buy we got a new refrigerator because there was a little store on Capitol Street. They had a couch in the window that I liked real well, and I went in and I said, I'll buy that couch and chair if you'll sell me the refrigerator. Okay. So we did have that new. Our rug on the living room floor was used. Our dinette was used. We had a new stove. And I don't remember whether we had a new bedroom suite or not. I don't remember that.
Had the house ever been lived in before?
The house had been lived in, and by only one family. And they had raised chickens in the garage during the war and sold them. Not only sold them, but they had it for their own need. And they in turn had a nice little garden fertilized by the chickens. So anyway, we really had to force them out of the house because they had no place to go other than to move in with his brother. They hadn't found a house to move into yet. Their time was up for moving, so we moved in. It didn't look quite as nice as it did when they lived there, I didn't think. I wasn't all that good with colors, but it was passable. And
who were your neighbors at that time?
Ray Gould, and Ray worked at Carbide, and he's the one that told Tom about the house. Ray Gould was on one side of us, the upper side, and Funk's, who Greg Funk, that later became mayor of St. Albans, lived on one side of us. There were many, either you worked at Carbide there or drove a Greyhound bus. There were many bus drivers lived in that area, and the rest of them pretty much were Carbiders. I don't remember too much about the first week of being there. I guess I was always busy. We didn't have a car, so I was home all the time, but I do definitely remember moving in that.
And what was the date again?
December the 1st, 1945. Went in as a child bride, of course.
Of course. What year was the house actually built? Or do you know?
I think they were built in the late 30s or early 40s. Along in there somewhere. All of them had 5 rooms, but the people had dug a basement and added a breakfast room to the house. And it looked better because we had looked at many houses, and it looked better for the price than, which was $6,800
Okay.
that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the best buy. So that's why Tom went ahead and bought it. He said after looking at so many, and you couldn't rent a place anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
How much later till you got a car?
oh, I imagine it was after TF was born. No, yeah, it was. It was after TF was born. Got a car, and it was an old Pontiac. But we drove it to Chicago, and the battery fell out in the middle of the road, the railroad crossing. Got it off the side of the road, and got the battery back in, and continued.
You were going out to see Daddy's relatives there?
Yeah, his aunt and uncle lived out there, so we visited with them for a while, and his aunt had a real nice Chevy. We drove it around and visited various spots in Chicago. Went to the zoo. After that, we got a used Plymouth. I think that's what I learned to drive on. I know it was. And I learned to drive. Pat was in a basket in the back seat. I was pregnant with Colleen, and Tom was standing on the curb holding TF by the hand. And I took my driver's test. Failed the first time, but they told me to get a cushion and sit on it so I could see where I was going and come back next week. So I did, and I passed. So.
Okay.
No, anything else?